Division bench of the Madras High Court will today settle the Madurai Deepam controversy. The court, remember, had reserved its order on the 18th of December and will be pronouncing its verdict any moment now. The verdict will be on a batch of pleas that have challenged the order of the single judge of the Madurai bench, which allowed the Deepam to be lit at the Deepathoon. Now, this reaching the court, after which any moment now we are expecting the verdict to come in. The appeal against the single judge order was filed by the state government, the Madurai district administration and the Subramanya Swamy temple administration. Let's take a look at the timeline of the legal battle so far, on what has happened so far. Let's take a look. Now, remember, it all started when initially the issue had come up. It was on the 1st of December, after this plea had been filed, when Justice G.R. Swaminathan of the Madras High Court had issued the order where he said that the Deepam could be lit at the Deepathoon. So the temple authorities were also directed, and in fact the devotee who had given this plea was given the permission to light the lamp at the Deepathoon. Then on the 3rd of December, the temple administration lit the lamp only at the customary spot where it is previously done, or it has been done for many years now, which means that the sacred lamp was actually not lit at the Deepathoon, and the administration issued prohibitory orders. The Tamil Nadu government also did not allow it because prohibitory orders had been issued. The next day, Justice Swaminathan also quashed these prohibitory orders that were given by the state government, instead ordering the CISF to give protection to the petitioner who wanted to light the lamp at the Deepathoon. The division bench dismissed the state appeal against this order. Finally, of course, the Deepam was not lit at the Deepathoon. The Tamil Nadu government then moved the Supreme Court, not wanting to leave the issue there, not allowing the devotee to merely light the lamp at the Deepathoon. On the 5th of December, the Tamil Nadu government then moved to the Supreme Court via special leave petition, and they didn't leave it there. In what seemed to be a message even for the justice who gave this order allowing the lighting of the Deepam, on the 9th of December, the opposition MPs, of course, led by the DMK, moved an impeachment motion against Justice Swaminathan. And then on the 18th of December, the DMK government also, of course, argued in court that there is no archaeological proof whatsoever that the pillar was the Deepathoon. The division bench reserved its verdict, and today we are expecting an order to come in regarding the same. Now, while the DMK government blocked the Hindu devotees from lighting the sacred lamp at the Deepathoon, it has not actually objected to the observance of the Santan Kudu festival at the Sikandar Dargah. So at the Dargah, the festivities were allowed, and contrast that with what happened with the lighting of the Deepam at the Deepathoon. The festival began with the flag hoisting at the Dargah on the 12th of December. Festivities scheduled to be held today as well at the Sikandar Dargah. This after the Madras High Court allowed 50 people to be a part of the festival while barring any kind of animal sacrifice. My colleague Dharani joins us on the broadcast. Ramaswamy Mayappan, advocate on the broadcast with us, and so is Syed Abbas, a political analyst on the broadcast with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Any moment now we're expecting the court verdict to come in. Before that, let me go across to my colleague Dharani as well on the broadcast. And Dharani, what are the arguments that have been made? Because while the petitioner has said that the Deepam should be allowed, and that was in the court, now in the High Court, the state government challenging it has gone on to say that there was never such a tradition at all. Take us through the arguments that have been made by each side and what's expected in the court today.
Well, now the division bench of Justice Adi Jayachandran and K.K. Ramakrishnan has in fact assembled in the court. So in a short while from now, the judgment will be pronounced, and definitely talking about the arguments. So the Madurai district administration, state government of Tamil Nadu, and also the Subramanya Swamy temple administration, all of them have questioned the existence of Deepathoon. So the counsels for these parties, they've argued that there is no proof to establish that the stone pillar that is located atop the Tirupparangundram hills is a Deepathoon. That is just a stone pillar with no religious religious relevance. There is no proof to show that 100 or 150 years back the Kartikeya Deepam was used to be lit there. There is no archaeological evidence to this. There is no linguistic evidence to this. No literature evidence to this is what the parties of all these, the councils of all these parties have argued in the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. So according to them, the stone pillar that is seen atop the Thiruparangunram hills, that is nothing but a normal stone pillar with no religious relevance. And the petitioners and the Hindu groups, they're coming up with an imaginary Deepathoon which they claim was used to light the holy lamp some 150 years back. So this is an imaginary Deepathoon is what these parties have been telling all this while. On the other hand, there was also a twist during the hearing. The council for Tamil Nadu Waqf Board argued that the so-called Deepathoon, that is a stone pillar that is located inside the Dargah's premise, therefore it belongs to the Dargah. It doesn't belong to the temple is what Waqf Board claimed during the hearing. And subsequently the petitioner, the main petitioner in this case, Rama Ravi Kumar, he stuck to his his stance. He told that 150 years back there was a tradition followed by the Hindus. The Kartikeya Deepam was used to be lit on this particular Deepathoon, that is the stone pillar. And after the British came to India, during the British era, this tradition was halted. It was brought to a halt, and we want to revive this tradition is what the petitioner is telling. So after hearing all the arguments, now the Madurai bench had reserved its order, and in a short while from now the division bench of Justice G. Jayachandran and KK Ramakrishnan will pronounce its judgment. In this case, this holds a lot of significance because politically also for the past 1 month, this matter has been making headlines across Tamil Nadu and beyond. So all eyes are now on the division bench that is going to pronounce its judgment shortly.
Absolutely, not just headlines. In fact, the judge who gave this order is also facing impeachment because the DMK and the opposition MPs have moved an impeachment motion against him. So it goes, of course, beyond this legal fight as well. For the devotees, it's just about the lighting of the lamp. Mr. Ramaswamy Meyyappan, I want to begin with you on the arguments that have been made by the state government in the court, going on to say that there is no historical evidence whatsoever to prove that the pillar is actually the Deepathoon. And they've gone on to say that there is insufficient material. Temple as well going on to say that there is no proof available that the religious practices can't be forced through. How do you think this will be viewed by the court? Because there is a lot riding on what the order of the court is going to be today.
A very good morning. I begin with my pranams to Bharat Mata and good morning to all my brothers and sisters of the country. It's a very strange situation that normally that there are two religious groups or two different members of the society that claim ownership over a site or right of worship or right of faith. And this is one odd instance where the government and a government instrument claims that the right of faith does not exist and the claim made by the Hindu group is not proper, one. And two, the arguments made by the state was not founded by evidence. If they had originally found these by evidence, they should have made these at the very first attempt when the single judge was hearing the matter in writ petition. But whereas they brought these up for the first time before the writ appeal, before the division bench. So therefore, it's only an afterthought after suffering a judgment that you cook up all these reasons that politically come through and none are backed by evidence. And to be backed by evidence, these will have to be premised by the judgment passed by the courts originally in 1923. In 1923, courts have categorically held all the way up to the Privy Council that all sites except for the Dargah, the access route to the Dargah and Nelitope belong to the deity and all rights of worship prevail over that site. And just for the sake of keeping harmony, let's keep a 15 feet as a grace distance that will not be interfered by either party. That is all is what's being said by the judgment.
You know, all of these details have been mentioned to the court, but at the crux of it all is that the devotees want to light the Deepam at the Deepathoon. And Syed Abbas, is it wrong and should Hindus be fighting so much for merely lighting of a lamp at a place of their choice at the Deepathoon? Why so much objection to it that the state government is going to the court, even to the Supreme Court, even wanting to impeach the judge because of this judgment?
Pratibha, I've always believed with great power there's great responsibility and equal accountability. And that applies to anybody and everybody who belongs to this beautiful country, be it a High Court judge, Supreme Court judge, or even otherwise. The fact there have been several statements and verdicts made by the concerned judge, which did raise an alarm with the opposition, and therefore the same reason why they moved for an impeachment. Now coming to the controversy on the Kartigai Deepam and Madurai Subramaniam Swami Temple to a Sikandar Badusha Dargah. Let me tell you, Pratibha ji, and respected sir on the panel, that I know many of my Hindu brothers and Muslim brothers who have visited these two beautiful sites. And I tell you, they've been sacrosanct in saying about the stand which has been united. Many of our Muslim brothers have made a visit to the Subramania Swami temple, and many of our Hindu brothers have gone and seek blessings of Sikandar Badusha. And I tell you, it's a beautiful mark in Madurai of a united stand between the two. It's absolutely unfortunate.
But does this unity come at the cost of the Hindus not even being able to light a temple there? That's the question. If there is so much unity, where is the worry? Because the argument that has been made by the state government is that it's a communally sensitive area and it can't be allowed. If it's so brotherly as you're mentioning, does it actually all hinge upon the Hindus not being able to light the Deepam where they want?
Kindly, ma'am, I kindly request you to please refrain this from making a Hindu versus Muslim issue. Absolutely not. It is definitely not Hindu-Muslim.
But this is what the state government has said. The state government has said... Abbas, the state government has said that this is a communally sensitive area. That's what the state government has said to the court. They have gone on to say, I'll just get you the arguments that have been made. They have said that this is a communally sensitive area. It cannot be allowed. They have said that there is no historical evidence to prove that the pillar is a Deepathoon. The reason why there is anger with the devotees is also because the event of the Dargah is given permission and it's not. The same for the Hindu devotees.
This isn't about any of the devotees as such. This is not a Hindu versus Muslim issue. Kindly, I request you to please visit the premises at Madurai and you will understand this. Politics is being played out between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the DMK. Bharatiya Janata Party is taking one side and the DMK is playing its own dirty politics on the other side. Due to these politics, it is being made out to be communally sensitive or even a Hindu-Muslim. The fact is that Hindus and Muslims are united and sacrosanct in their stand there. It's unfortunate that certain political forces of both the sides are trying to warm their hands and take benefits out of this situation.
Okay, Mr. Ramaswamy, is that true what Abbas is saying, that it is just politics and it has nothing to do with the devotees? Because the Waqf has also brought in a plea and in the court they've gone on to say that the pillar belongs to Dargah.
See, I thank the brother for having brought it up, saying that it's sacrosanct and both religious groups are together. The strangest position here is that the Bharatiya Janata Party is not a party to the petition, and even when they wanted to be present for the lighting of the Deepathoon, all that they asked for is, in simple terms, that be permitted, either the temple authorities or the 10 people permitted by the court go light the lamp. And the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Hindu group were in unison with the other faith or the Islamic group or those who wanted to visit the Dargah by permitting them to go for the Sandana Kudu. But when the lighting of the lamp was required, the government refused allowing them. So this, in very simple, is evident that the political action is taken only by the DMK because they want to appear as if they are appeasing the...
Okay, all right, we have big breaking updates coming in. Do stay with us. It's a huge embarrassment for the DMK government because we have the verdict that has come in and the bench has upheld the single judge order. So this is a huge embarrassment for the DMK government, which went on to claim that it is absolutely wrong. It went on to impeach the judge as well. Here you have the Madurai bench of the High Court as well, upholding the single judge order. Big update coming in from the court. And Dharani, this is a big win for the devotee, but also a huge embarrassment for the DMK government.
Well, definitely this is a big win for the practitioners, for the Hindu groups that have been demanding that the Kartigai Deepam be lit on the Deepathoon atop the Tirupparangunram hills. So a division bench of Justice G. Jayachandran and KK Ramakrishnan has dismissed all the appeals filed against the previous single judge order by Justice G.R. Swaminathan that allowed the Kartigai Deepam to be lit on the Deepathoon. So the court has told that practice of lighting Deepam at elevated places is there for all Hindu devotees to see. There is no plausible reason for temple administration not to comply with a devotee's request to light the lamp. This is the key paragraph from the observations made by the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. The court has also told that apprehensions of public peace disturbance is nothing but an imaginary ghost created conveniently, which creates mistrust between communities. So this is a direct attack on the state government, because the state government has been telling that if the Kartikeya Deepam is allowed to be lit on the Deepathoon, it might create a disturbance to public order, and that it might create enmity between various communities. That was the argument coming in from the state government. But now the court has told that this apprehension cannot be a reason for denial of Deepam to be lit on the Deepathoon. This apprehension is not acceptable from the part of the state government, is what the court has told. So the crux of the matter here is that the division bench comprising of Justice KK Ramakrishnan and G. Jayachandran, they've upheld the single judge order of Justice G.R. Swaminathan, which means that the holy lamp, that is the Kartikeya Deepam, can be lit on the Deepathoon, and the state government cannot cite a law and order violations of law and order maintenance as an apprehension to deny this right of the Hindus, is what the court has told. And the court has also told that it is dismissing all the appeals filed against the single judge order.
So this is a big victory for the devotees who wanted to light the Deepam at the Deepathoon. It's a big victory because initially the DMK, the government, had gone on to raise questions on the judge for giving this order. But this has now come from the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. What will the DMK government say now? Because all along they raised questions on the judge, but now the order has also come in from the Madras High Court. Well, Dharini, did the court make any observations while saying this? Because this is a big victory for the Hindu devotees amid a case which has been mired in a lot of political controversy. Any observation from the court? And the verdict itself is quite a setback for the DMK.
Well, definitely the verdict is quite a setback for the DMK. In fact, the court has told that the temple's board should light the lamp on the Deepathoon. In fact, we have the petitioner in this case, Mr. Rama Ravi Kumar. Sir, உங்களுக்கு சாதகமா தீர்ப்பு வந்திருக்கு. Just ரெண்டு லைன் சார், ரெண்டு லைன். உங்களுக்கு சாதகமா
ரொம்ப மகிழ்ச்சியா இருக்கு. முருகனுக்கு வெற்றி, முருகனுக்கு வெற்றி, முருகனுக்கு வெற்றி.
இப்போ டெம்பிள் தேவஸ்தானம் வந்துட்டு
இருக்காங்க, மத்திய தொல்லியல் துறையுடைய ஒப்புதலோடும் அவங்களுடைய ஒத்துழைப்போடு பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க. சில கைடன்ஸ் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. முழுமையான நீதிமன்றத்துடைய தீர்ப்புகளை கிடைக்கல. பட் முருகனுக்கு சாதகமான தீர்ப்பு வந்திருக்கு. வரவேற்கிறோம் நாங்க.
ஸ்டேட் கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து லா அண்ட் ஆர்டர் காரணம் காட்ட முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க.
நான் முழுமையா படிக்கல, எல்லாம் முருகனுக்கு வெற்றி. நான் முழுமையா பேசுறேன். உண்மைதான், நீங்க சொன்னது உண்மைதான். சட்டம் ஒழுங்கா காரணமா காமிக்க முடியாது சொல்றாங்க, உண்மைதான். நான் முழுமையா உங்ககிட்ட பேசுறேன். தேங்க்யூ எல்லா பிரச்சனையும்.
That is the first reaction of the petitioner, Mr. Rama Ravi Kumar. He is the main petitioner in this case, and he says that this is a victory for Lord Murugan. This is a victory for all the Murugan devotees, and we will light the holy lamp on the Deepathoon. We will light the Kartikeya Deepam on the Deepathoon, is what Rama Ravi Kumar, the main petitioner in this case, is telling us. Of course, he is evidently very happy. He's just coming out of the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, and he seems pretty happy. He says that this judgment from the division bench is a win for all the Murugan devotees, is a win for all the Hindu groups who've been demanding the Kartikeya Deepam to be lit on the Deepathoon.
It's a big win for the Hindu groups, and it's been a big legal fight that has gone on for over a month. Dharini, they're getting the first reaction from the petitioner. We have Narayan Tirupati of the BJP also on the broadcast with us. Mr. Narayan Tirupati, it's a big victory for the Hindu groups and also a huge embarrassment for the DMK. What is the BJP's first reaction to the court verdict?
Now the DMK government, the Dravida model government, stands exposed. See, it is not a question of happiness. The way the Dravida model DMK government had the sentiments of the public, the majority people. Now at least the Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, should apologize for what they have done, for hurting the sentiments, for hurting the faith of the Hindus. And I think he should apologize, and I think for the sins these people have committed. I directly say the sins they have committed against the Hindus is definitely we cannot digest, and they have to apologize and immediately do as per what the court says.
Okay, all right. Apologize. That's the demand from the BJP, that M.K. Stalin should apologize. apologized for hurting sentiments of the Hindus. Mr. Kovai Satyan of the AIADMK also with us. Mr. Kovai Satyan, your first reaction to the court verdict.
The evil design of MK Stalin and DMK is now stripped open with this. See, they want to play the religious divide and they were anticipating a bloodbath. That's what the reality is. And today, two bench striking out their appeal clearly shows that it is the law that is supreme, that prevails over anybody else. No individual or any government is bigger than the law and the judiciary. And trying to have an impeachment motion against the judge clearly shows that they are planning to intimidate judges.
Okay, all right. Intimidating judges as well. And we saw that happen with the impeachment motion. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast, Mr. Kovai Satyan. Syed Abbas, now we hope the DMK and the other opposition leaders will not be going back to see the details of these judges as well, because they've upheld the verdict and said that it has been unnecessarily politicized.
The fact that the previous point that I made just a while ago has proved it, that this is being politicized, and that's a fact today. I think it's being agreed upon by you and the respective political parties. Also, you need to mention what business that the Bharatiya Janata Party have, or Mr. Tirupati or Kovai Satyan of the AIADMK have. It's clearly they have developed themselves into playing politics in this game. The fact is, when it is between the two
when a court
parties,
gives a verdict, the state government did not even carry it out. The court gave permission. The state government brought out all its might to stop the devotees from merely lighting a lamp at the Deepathoon.
Therefore, you are proving my point, ma'am. Didn't I mention this? That the respective political parties of the state and otherwise are involving themselves in this. And hence, you've proved my own point.
But Abbas, just 2 minutes ago, you were saying that the judge had given many verdicts, which means that it was questionable, and that's why the DMK wanted an impeachment motion against him. Ramaswamy, very quickly a reaction from you as well. The politics around it, yes, but who has been playing the politics? It's a win for the devotees.
First, thank you to the judiciary. Thank you. It's a victory for justice. It's a victory for people. It's victory for Lord Murugan. So, and now coming to the political aspect of things, every political party's duty is to ensure the citizens' rights are protected. So when a citizen's right, irrespective of their faith, is interfered with, and with the ruling government, every opposition party will have to question that. That's responsible opposition. So if the government plays a role of not being secular, and if the political party, the DMK in office, plays a role of controlling the agenda of how people should worship, when they should pray, when they should light the lamp, and where they should light it, that is the responsibility of every citizen to question it, and every political party has the right to do so. And when the DMK politicizes judgments, every other opposition party will have to raise issues against those substandard questions that they raise, and the unthought about, unclear, misrepresented impeachment motions will have to be questioned very willfully and clearly. So therefore, raising political agenda saying these are BJP and ADMK versus DMK is completely unreasoned. The DMK should not step into a religious issue. What right do they have being in government? Faith is an issue that should be decided by the devotees and the deities.
Yes.
The government has no role to play in it. And the government having stepped into it, every other political party has the right to question such motives of the DMK.
Yes, Abbas, you spoke about the politics. So then why should the government intervene? If the court has given an order, allow the devotees.
I'm absolutely shell-shocked that how is it a political party's right or the constitution to protect a religion? Our fundamental duty, it is our constitution of India under its respective article speaks of protecting the rights of religion. And how does it become a constitutional body of a political party? A political party should not use religion as a vehicle to get votes. Also, we need to understand here that this particular judge in question with impeachment movement has been made against him by the opposition parties of India is liable. So a judge is supposed to be free, fair, non-biased. But when you sense judgments...
Higher court has now upheld that verdict. How can you raise these questions again? You still have the option, of course, going to the Supreme Court as well. Let's take a look at what happens next. But for now, it's a big victory for the devotees because the court has come out and said the issue has been unnecessarily politicized, and they have said that the devotees should have been allowed to light the Deepam. We'll have to leave it at that. A lot more discussions, more reactions expected as well. Thanking our guests for joining us. Quick break. We'll be right back.